0-8 against the Michigan Wolverines. Nebraska's last win December 12, 1964. 53 years, 1 month, and 6 days ago. Anton Gill back in the starting lineup for the second straight game for the Huskers as well. They changed it up against Illinois, and Tim Miles opting to go with that same lineup tonight. A smaller lineup that was very effective against Illinois for parts of that game. Should be against Michigan with their lineup as well.
Well, I like Roby going against Wagner. I think that he's a good matchup. You can switch ball screens. Wagner might have gotten away with a foul there, honestly. But Nebraska opting to go small. Michigan, not a team that's necessarily going to hurt you on the glass, but they have to defend and rebound with their small lineup.
Here's Roby going to work against Wagner, trying to find some room, finds Gill, and the ball batted out of bounds by Abdul. Anton Gill really struggled in his first start of the year against Illinois. 1 for 6 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3. He's been a much better player than that for most of this season. James Palmer Jr., the hero of that Illinois game, hit the 3 to win it for Nebraska. Shot clock at 6. Roby will launch the 3, and he'll hit.
Again, Kevin. I don't think he knows how good he could be. Steps into that shot right there. Wagner's going to play off him a little bit. Knocks it down with some confidence.
Michigan going to work. Xavier Simpson. Here's Wagner in the corner. Lost the handle on it. Gill pokes it away, and it goes out of bounds to Michigan. Looks like it caught the foot of Anton Gill as it went out. Huskers with the early 3-0 lead. 11 to shoot. As Abdul Rahman works it up to Simpson.
Nebraska switching ball screens. You have to do a good job of fronting Wagner in the post. There, Glenn Watson did a good job.
Watson pushing for Nebraska. Watson the step through the finger roll, up and good. And how about this? For the first time since Nebraska joined the Big Ten, the Huskers have a 2-possession lead. Not one time until now has Nebraska had a 2-possession lead against Michigan.
And in this building, that's really what's impressive, because look at the crowd here tonight. I mean, it is a full house. There's energy in the building. And finally, Nebraska has their 2-possession lead.
I'm telling you, when I saw that stat earlier this week, I couldn't believe it. You've played 8 games, and not once have you ever had a 2-possession lead. Tim Miles, I'm sure, is just delighted right now.
Start of the game, 4-0, 6-2.
Right.
It's really surprising.
5-0 gives him that 2-possession lead. Palmer missing at the rim. Here comes Charles Matthews. Matthews with a step through, and Michigan on the board. You're going to see the top 2 newcomer scorers in the Big Ten in this game, James Palmer Jr. and Charles Matthews.
And they're going to be matched up against each other a lot tonight. Look for this. Really a key matchup in this game.
There's Isaac Copeland going against Isaiah Livers, and Copeland can't get that one to fall. Simpson skying high for the board.
You need him to be aggressive if you're Nebraska. He really kind of disappeared when they're game against Illinois. They need their big 3. Watson, Copeland, Palmer. They have to bring it on a night-to-night basis.
How impressive has Isaiah Livers been this year? The freshman from Kalamazoo, the Kalamazoo kid with the 3 there. To tie this one up at 5.
Really a guy that got onto the scene against Iowa, and his confidence just soared. Really making shots at a high level. Knows how to play the game.
3rd straight game as a starter for John Beilein's squad. Watson inside. Copeland down low. Good defense by Matthews. Forced the change in the shot. Abdul Rahman. 5-0 spurt for Michigan to answer Nebraska's 5-0 start. Palmer out on Abdul Rahman. The jump pass to Simpson. Abdul Rahman for 3. And the rebound Matthews, and a foul is going to be called against Nebraska. Go on Anton Gill, his first. John Beilein, fantastic head coach for Michigan in his 11th season. Only been a head coach, never an assistant, and he's got one of his best Michigan teams from a depth standpoint and a talent standpoint this year.
Their freshmen have really come on. When you look at what this class has been able to do, they've been really ready to play once Big Ten seasons come around. You look at some of these guys, I mean, Jordan Poole, that dude has talent. He really scored the basketball.
A little bit about Livers already. We'll see more of him tonight as Matthews gets the spin around Palmer. And that's why they're so excited about Charles Matthews, the transfer from Kentucky. He's got a lot of weapons in his bag as Watson steps back. The three won't go. Roby with the tip to Gill. Palmer off the hesitation. Huskers trying to find a little rhythm on offense. It's gone cold after the 5-0 start. Roby, and past him. Get a two-hand stop.
So when you're struggling, no better way to get yourself going than finding a layup or finding a dunk. And really a good pass from Isaiah Roby. Finds Copeland working the baseline. We'll see if that can kind of get him jump-started here.
Michigan will work around the perimeter again. Michigan shot 63% in this building last year against the Huskers. Blew out Nebraska. 93-57, the worst home loss ever for Nebraska.
Really, last season, Michigan's offense operating at such a high level against this Nebraska team.
That 2 on the shot clock, and Abdul-Rahman able to get to the rim for the easy 2.
Those are the possessions as a coach. They drive you crazy. You defend so well for 28 seconds. Just kind of lose your mind in the last 2 and give up a wide-open layup.
Roby needs a little help. Matthews on the denial, but he gets it to Copeland. Copeland inside, and that's an offensive foul on Isaac Copeland. Abdul-Rahman taking the charge and a timeout in Lincoln. Huskers got off to the fast start, but Michigan has answered. Wolverines to work for Michigan. On to the handoff to Abdul-Rahman, picked up on the switch by Roby. Michigan off to a hot start, 4 for 5 from the floor, 80% shooting. They shot 63% a year ago, but a turnover. Roby trying to handle it, flips it back to Watson. Huskers fortunate to save the possession. Roby tried to skip it to Watson in the corner, and Abdul-Rahman waiting for it. A no look to Simpson. Simpson driving baseline, and the rebound plucked by Copeland. 2 turnovers for Nebraska, 3 for Michigan early on here. Palmer, the fadeaway from 3 is good.
Palmer, definitely a guy that's shown the ability where they can isolate him and let him go to work. And right there, Mo Wagner not up enough, and Palmer calmly knocks down. Easy 3.
And a foul away from the ball. That'll go on Gill, and that's number 2 on Anton Gill.
So he kind of turns the handoff down and really comfortable. Rhythm dribble, a little lean back, but he's one of those guys that the game just looks so easy for him. It looks like it slows down, and Charles Matthews is the same way. When he plays, both those guys, they look like the game is really in slow motion when they're playing well.
Palmer's been in double figures in all but 2 of Nebraska's 20 games this year. He played 72 games in Miami. 6 games doubles total in his Hurricane career.
When you look at his body, his skill set, guy that's really made to score the basketball.
The skip to Livers in the corner, and Isaiah Livers answers with a 3. His second 3. He's got 6.
Abdul-Rahman doing a good job. Dribble penetration on that baseline and finding a shooter. Livers shooting the ball with so much confidence right now. Stepping into it, expecting to make it really every time he puts it up.
Averaging almost 10 points a game over the last 5 games for Livers. As Roby goes baseline, got a crease and finished off at the rim.
And if Isaiah Roby can drive the basketball, Mo Wagner, not the best at moving his feet, has had some issues this season defending. Could be a big night for Roby, but really going to have to bring it against experienced big.
That's why you liked that matchup coming in for that kind of a play.
No doubt. And that's why he's on the floor right now.
Palmer will bring it up. Do you expect to see Nebraska rotate guys like Jordy Chimanga and Ubi Okeke in a lot tonight?
I would think we will only probably see them when John Teske on the floor.
Evan Taylor was really good against Illinois off the bench and gets into the scoring column right away.
Well, he did a phenomenal job right there of reading the dribble penetration and finding a seam where you kind of cut in there, slash to the rim. And really what was impressive is he just came out so aggressive against Illinois, coming off the bench. And, you know, good for him. You should be mad when you're not starting anymore. You started all year, and that's how a good player responds.
Charles Matthews got to go to work with 5 to shoot, and the ball taken away. Taylor with a steal. Taylor chased from behind and a foul. Abdul-Rahman trying to get it back. first foul on Abdul Rahman's first foul on Michigan.
Isaiah Roby is going to have an advantage in terms of speed if Mo Wagner is going to guard him. And right there, just an absolute blow-by. And here's the cut from Taylor. Great job. Michigan defense falls asleep. He finds that seam and gets to the rim.
Nebraska 4 for its last 4 from the floor. Copeland one-on-one against Livers. Got Livers in the air, and the jumper falls.
And just an absolute product of taking your time. Right there, had the freshman on him, backed him down, didn't rush it. Really kind of put him in the weight room there, gave him a shoulder, and then went into his pull-up jumper.
6-0 run for Nebraska. Copeland with 4 points tonight, had 2 in the win over Illinois. Wagner stripped by Watson, and Nebraska will push with numbers. Palmer on the move, the step through to the rim, and Nebraska's lead grows to 6.
James Palmer so good at getting to that right hand. And if they can turn Michigan over, they're going to have opportunities tonight to get out in the open floor and score the ball.
Already 5 turnovers for Michigan. They're 6th in the country as far as fewest turnovers per game. A lob to Wagner. Watson got a piece. Wagner able to corral, and then a foul is going to be called.
So far, so good for this Nebraska defense. Right now, they're converting defense to offense. James Palmer getting out in the open floor. Get to that right hand. Get yourself a bucket. Rim, but also his ability to find others. Really gets Isaac Copeland going there with the dunk. Isaiah Roby really so far done a great job on the offensive end, also switching defensively, and they've made life tough for this Michigan team. Michigan really has turned the ball over. Uncharacteristic for this team tonight. Really, Michigan's got to kind of get that under control. They want to have some success here on the offensive end.
More turnovers than missed shots tonight for Michigan. 5 turnovers, 3 misses. Teskey on the floor, Duncan Robinson on the floor for Michigan. With Teskey out there, Dubio KK comes onto the floor for the first time tonight for Nebraska. Here's Charles Matthews' penetration, gets it around OKK, and able to put it down.
Just utilizing that pin down. We love John Beilein's offense because it really brings the best of the motion offense and puts it into a structured environment. You have back screens, you have flare screens, you have pin downs, and right there, just a great read. We see Dubio KK not come set on the screen.
It's been an emphasis all year long. Not a surprise to see it called again. Now we are 6 weeks away, Robbie. 6 short weeks. 10 games, 1 home. BTN's got exclusive coverage of the first 10 games of the 2018 Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament. Of course, it's at Madison Square Garden in New York City beginning February 28th, and we'll see the first 10 games right here on BTN. Cannot wait. Hard to believe just 6 weeks from tournament time. And everybody's starting to think about positioning. I know it's early, but got your eyes on a buy or a double buy. Still a lot to play for. There's Abdul Rahman trying to get past Copeland. He does. OKK in there to clean it up, and it goes out off Teskey.
And that is what Dubio KK is on the 4-4. He's not looking to score. He's going to protect the rim and rebound the basketball. Really, Rahman thought he had a layup, and great job by OKK of coming over and erasing that shot off the glass.
He left Winthrop, did OKK, as the all-time shot block leader, trying to get it inside, and Simpson punches it up off the top of the shot clock. It'll stay with Nebraska. Jerron Simmons on the floor for the first time tonight for Michigan. Here comes Jordan Poole, the 6'4" freshman from Milwaukee. This is a guy that John Beilein is very excited about. He said, we got to get him more time on the floor.
And really a guy that's made strides. I think it was interesting to see that Coach Beilein said at the start of the season in the fall, we were on opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how winning basketball should be played. But he has really figured it out. And God, you look at him, he's talented.
The tie-up between OKK and Poole, the possession arrow will keep it with Michigan. Here comes Mo Wagner back on the floor. We'll see if Tim Miles counters with Isaiah Roby. And Watson's going to go to the scorer's table right now. Here comes Jordy Chimanga and Isaiah Roby, but not until the next dead ball. Chimanga was not on the floor the last 2 games. Had some questions to answer about what he wanted to be and what he wanted to do with his time at Nebraska. As Wagner fades away over OKK, and the rebound to Evan Taylor.
And a tough shot. Dubio KK doing a good job of pushing Mo Wagner off the block there, making things difficult for him.
Nebraska by 4. Bit of a stalemate over the last couple of minutes. Allen, the freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina. 11 on the shot clock for Allen, working against Deron Simmons. Allen trying to go to work against Simmons. Copeland, tough shot, left it short. Okeke with the offensive rebound, put the ball on the floor, lost it out of bounds off Michigan. Okeke a little frustrated. Here comes Jordy Chimanga. The announcement made on Monday that Chimanga would be back with the team. Did not go to Penn State. That was the first sign that there was a little bit of soul searching going on. Didn't play against Illinois, but had already been announced that he was coming back. And Chimanga right onto the floor finds Roby for a pair.
Isaiah Roby reading the defense there, slipping out of his pin down screen. And Chimanga finds him.
Huskers by 6. Roby with 7 first half points. Poole. Little hesitation. Gets on the baseline. Back up to Robinson. Fakes the 3. Now fires the 3. Won't go. Abdul-Rahman with the offensive board. Taylor able to poke it away. Look at Evan Taylor diving to the floor to get the save and the steal. Watson to Chimanga. Chimanga collapsed upon by Wagner. Jordy Chimanga making an impact right back on the floor.
Well, Chimanga making his impact felt immediately here. We're going to see Isaiah Roby. Great job of reading. A little miscommunication there by the Michigan defense. They give up an uncontested dunk, but then on the defensive end, man, Evan Taylor getting after it. That's a good Tim Miles. That's what you want to see. Your team is competing. We said it earlier in the game. There's a lot to play for still. A lot at stake for Nebraska in this game.
13 on the shot clock for the Huskers. Roby against Robinson. Chimanga with the screen. The errant pass by Roby. The turnover, 4th for Nebraska. Michigan back to work.
That was a doomed possession, really, from the start. Michigan, such a good job of pushing that offense out towards half court. Nebraska never in a rhythm. You get a guy like Isaiah Roby coming off a pick and roll. It is something he's probably not accustomed to doing. Just throws it in the stands.
Michigan over 3 minutes without a field goal. 15 to shoot. Robinson got a look from 3. And it won't go. He's 0 for 2 off the bench from behind the arc.
Incredibly fortunate there because a miscommunication by Nebraska, a box switch, and one of the best shooters in the conference gets a wide open look.
Poked out by Jordan Poole. Timeout on the floor. State capital of Nebraska, 20 to 14. Huskers with a 6-point lead, and Nebraska's defense ratcheting it up.
Well, just a swarming effort thus far by this Nebraska defense. They forced 6 Michigan turnovers, but they haven't been dead ball turnovers. They've got 5 steals. They blocked a shot. Really been locked in all night. You see the effort there from Evan Taylor, the senior, playing like it is his last season here in Lincoln. It's funny when you're a senior and you have something happen where you move out of the starting lineup and all of a sudden you're coming off the bench. There's a sense of urgency here. You're running out of time. And he's playing like it right now.
Yeah, he did it Monday against Illinois as well. Here's Roby going to work, forcing it into Chimanga, and that ball a turnover taken away by Livers. Poole will bring it up. Poole's in the shorts mode.
1985.
Man, somewhere John Stockton's like, yeah, darn right.
The style is back.
I just saw Robbie Hummel in those.
We wore some of the longest shorts in the world at Purdue. I don't know what we were doing.
He tripped over him a couple times.
Could have.
Allen the handoff to Roby after the turnover. Huskers back to work in the half court. Watson calling for the screen from Chimanga. Looking to get it inside. Chimanga had a mismatch against Simmons. Here's Allen with the short pull-up. Little strong, and Wagner the rebound.
Well, really a good possession by Nebraska there. Great read by Glenn Watson. He's got his eyes to shift that defense into the middle of the paint. Thomas Allen just unable to knock down the pull-up.
Poole with the 3. And Chimanga the rebound. Michigan has not scored in almost 4.5 minutes. And they're just 2 for 5 from 3. Inside, wriggling all the way to the rim is Glenn Watson, and Nebraska stretches the lead to 8.
And if you're John Beilein, that's just too easy. Glenn Watson there kind of snake dribbling his way through there and finds a little opening. Right now, Michigan just not locked in on the defensive end of the floor.
And another Michigan turnover. That's number 8 for Michigan. And the Huskers on a 12-2 run over the last 7 minutes, and a foul is going to be called on Matthews. His first, team's third. This is not the Michigan team we have seen most of the year. That turnover number is ridiculously high.
And they're a team that's led the conference in the 6th in the country in terms of turning the basketball over. So uncharacteristic errors here from this Wolverine team thus far tonight. And they haven't been turnovers where you know throwing the basketball out of bounds, or they've been live ball turnovers. Nebraska's been able to take advantage and get some easy buckets off these.
Now, already 8 turnovers. They had 6 the whole game against Maryland, 7 in the entire game against Michigan State, and 9 against Purdue. The lob to Chimanga, and Chimanga inside had it taken away. What a block by Charles Matthews, and now Michigan on the push. Open 3 for Livers in transition. And Matthews lost the rebound to Chimanga. Now Palmer looking to run. Doesn't have numbers here. Watson going to attack. Trying to dump it to Copeland, and it's tipped out of bounds by Michigan. It'll stay with Nebraska. Fortunate for the Huskers to keep that possession.
It was one of those passes where it was a good look, just a little too much on it. Fortunate there. Isaac Copeland doesn't nail the pass, but Michigan tips it out of bounds. He had 2 guys there. He had Evan Taylor cutting to the rim as well.
Watson has to lob into Palmer. Palmer going around. Livers gets to the rim. The bucket and the foul.
James Palmer again taking advantage of the freshman. The scouting report says force him left. Well, James Palmer gets to his left hand. What a strong move. Gets the contact. Goes right through Isaiah Livers' chest. And really an impressive finish for James Palmer.
We saw Palmer forced to his left against Illinois quite frequently on Monday, and he showed he could score to his left. That's going to change the scouting report if he's able to continue to do that.
He has shown in the last 2 games, he has an ability to get to that left hand. Probably, he's more comfortable getting to the right. But not one of those deals where he can't go left.
He gets to the line a lot. That was attempt number 120 on the year, 3rd in the conference this season.
With his size and his physicality, he's a guy who needs to attack that rim.
Wagner scoreless to this point in the game for Michigan. Only 1 field goal attempt.
Credit Tim Miles. Great scouting report.
Matthews goes past Chimanga, and that's a foul. Almost a 3-point play for Charles Matthews. Couldn't get the roll, and he'll go to the line for a pair as Chimanga picks up his first. 6th team foul.
Just a blow by on Jordy Chimanga. And Charles Matthews showing off what kind of athleticism he has. He explodes to that rim. Really an impressive player. And I think he fits so well with what John Beeline does here offensively. He's had some nice games here and really been a welcome addition to this Michigan team.
That free throw snaps a 6-minute, 5-second scoring drought. Stay tuned. The State Farm halftime report's coming up. Rick Pizzo, Jess Settles, Deion Thomas hanging out in our BTN studios in Chicago, preparing what we have been told is the greatest State Farm halftime report in history. And that's coming up in 5 minutes and 4 seconds.
Those are some lofty goals to reach to if you're going to talk that.
With Rick Pizzo, Jess Settles, and Deion Thomas involved, I'm confident they'll deliver. Isaac Copeland will hand off to Palmer. Around the Roby screen, right back to Roby in a 2-hand stuff. Roby's got 9 to lead the Huskers in this first half.
Right now, Nebraska's offense really operating at a high level. Multiple actions on the play. The weak side is consumed. And Nebraska able to find Roby again for an uncontested slam.
I'm contractually obligated to remind people that Robbie Hummel mentioned Isaiah Roby was going to have a big game at the top of the broadcast.
Just had a feeling.
Livers against Taylor. He likes this matchup. Taylor, really tough. Maybe he shouldn't like that matchup. Taylor defending well, and now Palmer on the run, going into the teeth of the defense. Copeland waits for traffic to clear and gets it to fall. And a timeout, Michigan.
Well, right now, Nebraska open everywhere. We see Isaiah Roby finishing the slam, and then good defense here by Evan Taylor. And right now, Nebraska has everything going their way. out in the passing lanes and affecting jump shots.
Michigan has not hit a field goal in over 7 minutes. They're 6 of 16 from the floor. Huskers have put a blanket on this offense so far as Abdur-Rahman. A little hesitation inside. Good rebound. Tip out by Matthews. Simpson for 3, and it rolls home. The first field goal since the 11-10 mark in this first half.
Good job getting it done on the offensive glass and finding a shooter in Xavier Simpson who just steps right into that jump shot. Nails it.
That's the thing with Michigan, though. If they find their range, they'll close the gap very quickly. Copeland, the turnaround jumper is good, and Isaac Copeland with 8 first-half points.
The guy that he shoots 54% from 2. I mean, he's a very effective shooter from inside the arc. So if he can find that kind of mid-range 10 to 15 feet area and operate in it, good things are going to happen for Nebraska's offense.
Simpson against Roby.
I'd like to see Mo Wagner maybe go to the post, but
no, Matthews there with a tip jam.
Xavier Simpson putting pressure on that defense with some dribble penetration. And Charles Matthews, not just a scorer, does such a good job following up the play. Nice little tip dunk there.
We're going back to work in the half court. Copeland attacking against Livers. Goes to the left hand, and Isaac Copeland with 10. He's not fading away tonight.
And that's what's so just confusing about this. I mean, you look at this dude, he's got a lot of ability to really score the ball. And so there's stretches where he just kind of fades into the background, you could say. He's too talented for that to occur.
Huskers shooting 65% from the floor in this first half. They're 13 of 20 from 3, or from 2, rather. 13 of 20 from 3 would be a record, I believe. Matthews with 4 to shoot. Got to go. Lost the handle. Forces it up. And the rebound, Evan Taylor. Really good defensive possession again for Nebraska.
Isaiah Roby's length really affecting that shot. Nebraska's defense may be the most locked in we've seen in quite some time.
We've got the spark that Evan Taylor's providing off the bench. The length of Roby. Here's Taylor inside. That drive won't go. Wagner the rebound. Wagner still scoreless. Only 1 attempt in the first half for Wagner.
Nebraska's made it really tough on him. They switched ball screens and had the guards, whether it's Lynn Watson and Evan Taylor front, to really flood that weak side, make it tough to get into basketball.
Wagner, the kick into the corner. Matthews got an open 3. Not going to go. Livers able to tip it out. Second chance for Michigan. 7 of their 21 points have come on second chances tonight. Wagner with a little bit of a screen, but nothing there for Abdur-Rahman. And that's a travel. And now a little bit of pushing and shoving, and a technical foul is going to be assessed to Xavier Simpson.
I think they might get Evan Taylor, too.
Maybe a double technical here. The first point came in the direction of Simpson.
See the travel. Maybe a little overzealous there. And I don't blame Xavier Simpson for not being happy with that.
Yeah, it's going to be a double technical. They're going to assess 1 to Taylor. They're going to assess 1 to Simpson.
John Beeline saying our guy didn't do anything.
That's exactly what it is, the double technical.
Evan Taylor's certainly the aggressor there. I see where John Beeline makes that point.
Yeah, Taylor was the instigator.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
Good thing this isn't the NBA where you get hit with that $2,500 fine because you'd be upset if you'd be upset for not doing anything.
Yeah, I would say so. So it's Nebraska ball. Watson trying to turn the corner. Oh, wild shot. One of the worst shots we've seen from Nebraska in a very good first half. As Simpson will go to work. Simpson, the skip job. Abdur-Rahman open for 3. Not going to go. Rebound poked out. Look at Matthews chasing it down. Offensive rebound number 6 for Michigan.
He's been so active on the glass tonight. Really kept basketballs alive and given this Michigan offense second chances. Really not much going initially in the half court. They're surviving off second chance points right now.
State Farm halftime report straight ahead. 10 to shoot, launching the three, grazing the rim. Rebound Palmer. Huskers can hold for the final shot of what has been one of Nebraska's better all-around halves of basketball this year.
This has got to be a possession where Nebraska ensures there's just one shot. Can't turn it over and go. Jeez.
And there's the turnover
what you didn't
from
want to
Copeland.
see.
Second foul on Copeland as well.
Here comes the Isaac Copeland screen. He just rolls right through it. That's a good call. You've played such a good half on both ends of the floor. At worst, you can go up 11 into the half, and it's disappointing for this Nebraska offense. Got to get a stop now if you're Tim Miles' team.
Michigan with a chance at some late momentum here. Abdur-Rahman, there's a screen from Wagner. 2 to shoot. 1 second to go. Abdur-Rahman inside, won't go. Halftime is here. Michigan with 1 field goal over the final 11 minutes of the first half, and Nebraska takes an 11-point lead into the locker room.
Really an impressive performance by this Cornhusker squad. John Beilein going to have to go into the break and go a little bit back to the drawing board here. Michigan down 11, but still a lot of basketball to be played.
Our halftime score, Nebraska 32, Michigan 21 after the break. It's the State Farm Halftime Report. Rick Pizzo, Jess Settles, and Deion Thomas are waiting. Stick around. We're back in a moment. Well, it was James Palmer Jr. with the Huskers down, launches and hits the three to win it for the Big Reds, 64-63. So each team getting the late win. Now Nebraska starts the second half here with an 11-point lead as Palmer goes to work against Matthews, and that's a foul, a shooting foul, the second on Matthews, and Palmer to the line.
And that set run by Tim Miles designed to get James Palmer going to his right hand, going to his strong hand. Good initial defense there by Charles Matthews. Palmer able to kind of get back to his left and then spin. Matthews saying, my bad. Reached down, slapped at it. Fortunately for him, picked up the foul.
Talk a little bit about how lopsided this series has been since Nebraska joined the Big Ten. Huskers 0-8 against Michigan since joining the league. In those first 8 games, Nebraska led for a total of 17 minutes and 22 seconds in the 8 games combined. They've led now for 15 minutes and 15 seconds here tonight in this game alone. This is an anomaly in this series since the Huskers came into the Big Ten Conference. Abdur-Rahman with Livers, and now Simpson. Wagner and Matthews on the opposite side as Simpson goes back to Abdur-Rahman.
Right now that basketball sticking on the right side of the floor. If you're Michigan, got to get ball reversals, move this Nebraska defense.
The spin won't go, but there's a tip out into the backcourt. Wagner able to chase it down. Michigan with the basketball.
Wagner's just been so unaggressive. I mean, really not been around the basketball. Need to get him going. I'd like to see Livers maybe curl that back, cut it, set a good screen for Wagner. More often than not, the ball will find you. Position to score.
Roby's been on him throughout this possession. 7 to shoot, long possession. Here's Wagner going against Palmer. Drives and hammers it down.
There it is. Mo Wagner using the head fake. I said he wasn't aggressive, but pretty aggressive right there.
See if that sparks Michigan's leading scorer. Here's Roby, got an open look for 3. Left that one a little short. Now Abdur-Rahman with a rebound and a foul on Palmer, his first.
We said Mo Wagner needs to be aggressive and come get the basketball, and right here, does he ever? Sets a nice little flare screen. Nebraska switches it. James Palmer, undisciplined, goes for the head fake, and hello. Really impressive at his size, able to put the ball on the floor, get to that hoop.
Simpson to Livers. Livers to the rim, and he puts it in.
Beautiful slip there by Isaiah Livers. Nebraska going to switch ball screens. So you slip right out of that thing, find yourself at the rim. Nice little left-hand finish.
Little adjustment made by John Beilein at halftime after seeing the Huskers play in the first half. Watson harassed. Copeland will work it around to Anton Gill. Hampered by foul trouble in the first half. Gill goes with a left-hand floater, and the lead grows back to 10.
Anton Gill really been quiet since being moved into this starting lineup. Gets his first 2 points of the night there.
Only had 5 against Illinois on 1 made field goal.
He's a guy that can really make shots.
Matthews underneath. Got great position against Palmer and the easy 2. And a little frustration showing now for Nebraska defensively.
And Michigan really starting to execute their stuff. Right there, a great back cut. Really intelligent basketball played by this Michigan team when they're operating well on the offensive end.
Palmer trying to attack, finds Copeland. He'll try the three. That one a little flat. The rebound, Charles Matthews, who throws it away. Roby on the drive, goes right past Matthews for the easy two.
And what a Euro step to avoid Charles Matthews. Great awareness coming back to the basketball. That's making a play.
Good as Roby been tonight. 11 points, 3 assists.
Those are the types of answers you need if you're Nebraska. Michigan going to make runs. Right there, a counterpunch shown by Isaiah Roby.
Rockman, 8 on the shot clock. There's Wagner. Tries to pass out of the trouble in the corner, and it's tipped out by Nebraska. 3 to shoot.
Well, Isaiah Roby showing great awareness right there, and it's a poor pass. Look at the Euro step by the sophomore there. And Mo Wagner back on the other end. Nebraska really flooding that weak side. James Palmer really aware of what's going on. And when you're going to post trap, you have to make sure the weak side is at the midpoint in the lane. If not, you're going to give up layups. Really good defense there by Nebraska.
A little confusion on the inbound. Copeland trying to get it, and it's taken away by Taylor and a foul. Nebraska defending the inbound exceptionally well as Jordan Poole picks up the personal, his first.
Well, those are the types of winning plays that Nebraska needs in order to contend in this conference. And Isaac Copeland just went and got that ball, just a hand on it. And it was just enough for Evan Taylor to run in there and get the steal. Really a great effort by Copeland.
How about 11 Michigan turnovers in this game?
So uncharacteristic.
Copeland on the curl. Gets bumped by Wagner, holding his ground. Copeland trying to fight against Wagner. Banks it off the window. Well, you know it's your night when that's falling.
And Mo Wagner just shaking his head. I don't think he could have defended that any better. Sometimes good offense going to trump good defense.
Huskers led by 11 at the half. They lead by 12. Almost 4 minutes gone into the second half.
They've really weathered this storm that Michigan had to start the second half here.
Jordan Poole with 7 to shoot. The spin. Poole, the up and under. Wild shot caught by Glenn Watson. And Watson will turn and start it up the floor. Huskers by 12. Roby trying to attack. Good defense by Wagner, shutting that door. Taylor from the elbow. The jumper goes down. Evan Taylor with 4.
I like the new Evan Taylor. This guy, you start bringing him off the bench, all of a sudden a little more aggressive. And this Husker fan base, they like what they see.
The largest lead of the night for Nebraska. And Michigan running the shot clock under 10 again. Nowhere to go. Simpson off balance. Roby got a piece and the rejection flip to Watson. Here's Gill, back to Roby. And a foul on Wagner on the baseline.
Well, right now, everything going right for Nebraska. We're going to see Isaac Copeland going to work on Mo Wagner right here in the post. Tough little right fadeaway hook. And check out the bench. They are loving it. And not feeling like they really have anything with Wagner. Nebraska switches back. And then just a forced drive. And Isaiah Roby cleans up the mess. Textbook defensive possession for Nebraska here. And so far in this second half, really impressive. You know, they've weathered Michigan's storm. And right now, really playing good basketball.
Anxious to see the adjustment from John Beilein. You know one's coming again.
No doubt. And this is a game where he can really, as you say, earn his paycheck because he's going to have to really manufacture some offense. Not a lot going for Michigan right now. You see Jordan Poole in here. He's a guy that can get hot in a hurry, but you need a spark.
Rockman trying to provide it. He's just 1 for 7 tonight for 2 points. Teske on the floor again. Roby stays in this time. Teske came in last time Nebraska went to OKK. Nowhere to go for Matthews. And once again, the shot clock's going to slip under 10. Rockman on the drive, and a foul is going to be called as he went down the left side of that baseline. Got bumped by Roby on his way to the rim, and that's number 1 on Isaiah Roby. Rahman came in with just 11 turnovers on the year. He's got 2 tonight. Obviously not a very big number, but when you've only had 11 all season, 2 seems like a lot. For a team that doesn't turn it over a lot, they've had 11.
He's just been a guy that's been so steady for this Michigan program. And you look at his story, really incredible. I mean, he's the 434th best player in his class. And now he's played in 118 straight games, and he's been such a big part of what Michigan has done over the last 3 years.
First miss at the line tonight for Michigan, 3 for 4 as a team. Chimanga off the bench, working against Teske one-on-one, going baseline. Teske able to rip it out of his hands. Good strong play by a big, strong man inside, John Teske. That's a guy who John Beeline challenged early, and Teske has responded.
And he said, you know, we needed him to be tougher, not just in games, but in practice. He has responded well. Fortunately, unable to knock down the 16-footer there.
Well, when Wagner got hurt about a month ago, not even quite that, Teske really responded, averaged double figures in points in the 2 games he started. Nice little turnaround by Watson. Won't go. There's going to be a foul on Teske. Got tangled up with Jordy Chimanga underneath, and the first on Teske. He'll keep it with Nebraska.
Those are the types of plays that they need Jordy Chimanga to make. Give great effort, extend possessions. Right there, John Teske unable to handle the physicality of Chimanga.
Chimanga waiting for the handoff for Watson.
They missed Jordan Palmer.
Gill with a 3.
Yeah, they had James Palmer wide open, but 3's better than 2, I suppose. And Anton Gill knocks down the 3.
Michigan in another drought. They went over 7 minutes without a field goal in the first half. They haven't had a field goal in over 4 minutes here. Huskers would have been thrilled if Teske had shot that 3. Ball knocked away, and another turnover. Watson, the long lob ahead to Taylor, and Taylor hammered on his way to the rim by Jordan Poole. Number 2 on Poole, Taylor to the line, and Nebraska getting it done on both ends of the floor tonight.
Right now, not a lot of answers for this Michigan team, and we've said it all night. Defense creating offense. Great defense on the curl screen, and what a pass to Evan Taylor, who's on the run out.
They're going to look at this. Tim Miles was saying it was a flagrant, and so our officiating crew is going to go over and take a look at the scorer's table, which will offer an impromptu timeout for both squads. 44-28, Nebraska with Taylor going to the line. Michigan, this has been all sorts of out of sync. Watch it here.
Well, it's a hard foul, but you can make a case that he's going for the basketball. I would say that's just a common foul. It's a hard foul, but there's nothing flagrant about that.
They took the word intentional out of the foul. Now, obviously, that's by definition an intent to foul. But there is not an intentional foul, because several years ago when they made that change, the officiating crews and the folks that make the rules said we didn't want to have to legislate intent.
Right.
So they took
at the end of the game, every
foul
foul is intentional. If we're losing by 5 and I'm trying to foul you, that's an intentional foul.
Good crew tonight. Over taking a look at this one. It's really been a pretty clean game for both. Now, they may be asking Pat Driscoll to come over and take another look. There's still a conversation about this. That's otherwise engaged with Tim Miles. Let's look at it one more time while the debate happens in committee.
I mean, it is a hard foul, but to me, it's nothing more than that.
And that's going to be it. Just a common foul. 2 shots for Evan Taylor.
As a player, what do you talk? Don't let him get the ball up to the rim. That's exactly what he did there. Didn't take him out.
So Taylor will go to the stripe. First time he's been there tonight. 72% on the year. First player outside of James Palmer to shoot free throws for the Huskers. And extends the run to 10-1 Nebraska. Wagner back in, Duncan Robinson back in. Robinson scoreless. Wagner with 2 on that dunk.
How surprising is that Nebraska's into the free throw line so little? A team that really prides itself on attacking the rim and getting to the charity stripe. They haven't needed it.
And 21% of their points of the year come at the free throw line. But tonight they've scored twice at the line. 2 for 5. 10-1 run and a foul underneath. Taylor jockeying for position with Charles Matthews will pick up his second personal. Team's third. Michigan's been whistled for 5 in this second half. Rockman. Duncan Robinson looking for an opening. Just hasn't been one.
Robinson came off that screen, but Anton Gill did a great job of jumping back to the ball and providing help for his teammate.
Rockman likes the matchup against Chimanga. Shoots the 3 over Jordy Chimanga. And the first field goal in 5 minutes comes from deep for Rockman. Just his second bucket of the night.
Still just down 14 with a lot of game to play. Michigan's such a dangerous team with their ability to shoot the 3.
Gill answers with a 3.
Anton Gill, the 6th best three-point shooter in this league. Right there, you give him an open one, he's going to knock that thing down.
And Wagner, bumped by Chimanga, runs to the rim, won't go. Rebound Taylor. Huskers on the push, up by 17. Palmer the drive. Palmer a foul, and he'll go to the line. Timeout in Lincoln. 11:59 to go in the second half. And the 23rd ranked Wolverines down 17 on Nebraska. Giving their fans a lot to smile about here tonight, Robbie Hummel, with a 17-point lead over 23rd ranked Michigan.
Well, you have to think with what they're doing to a very good ranked Michigan team, sending a message tonight that they mean business. And really, we talked about it earlier, their schedule is going to set up for them to have some really good opportunities. Done with Michigan State, done with Purdue. If they can win this game and get something rolling here, you got to think that Nebraska still has a chance.
Going to have to hit some free throws, though. 2 for 6 tonight at the line. Palmer, who gets there all the time, is 1 for 4. Now 2 for 5 at the stripe. 49-31, Nebraska's largest lead of the night at 18. Where does Michigan find some offense? The usual suspects not able to get it going.
You got to think maybe a little two-man game here with Mo Wagner from the pin down here on Charles Matthews. Look for your big.
Matthews with 12, the only Wolverine in double figures. Wagner 10 to shoot again. Matthews on the drive past Roby, and a foul is called on Isaiah Roby, his second. Team's 4th, and to the line for 2. Michigan trying to chip away at the stripe with Charles Matthews.
I like what they did there. A little pin down set. 2 of their best players. You bring Charles Matthews off that down screen. You can curl it, you can straight cut it. He straight cuts it, Mo Wagner can get away. Use the ability to shoot the ball to spread this Nebraska defense out.
Well, the usual suspects, as we mentioned, 3 of the team's top 4 scorers this year. Mo Wagner, 2 points. Rockman, 6 points. Duncan Robinson, scoreless tonight. Wagner, 1 for 3. Rockman, 2 for 8. And Robinson, 0 for 2, both from three-point land.
And Nebraska's been so locked in to Duncan Robinson. Really no good. Only one or 2 good looks in the first half. Just happened to miss them. But for the most part, really a solid job. And Mo Wagner, they've rotated to him all night. Nothing easy.
And Wagner with a steal, took it away from Allen. Wagner to the rim, missed it, but Rockman there for the offensive rebound and the putback. Wagner with the pocket pick.
Some good hands there by your 6'11" center. Those are the types of plays Michigan needs to get back in this ball game. Got to keep making plays on the defensive end of the floor.
So much time left in this one. Michigan, an explosive team. Gill gets inside and all the way to the rim. Anton Gill into double figures. He's got 10.
Not known as a driver, but just puts his head down there and blows by his defender. Nice left-hand take by Anton Gill.
Nice bounce back after a rough night against Illinois.
Right now, if you're Mo Wagner, post up hard. You got Anton Gill guard.
Matthews can't get it to go, and Copeland the rebound. Huskers have been in control in this one. which is rare for Nebraska against Michigan. Palmer with the step back deep 2, rims out. Matthews with the board. Just about to slide into the halfway mark in the second half. Huskers led by 11 at the break. Poole, off balance shot falls. That's what gets people excited about Jordan Poole. His first 2 points of the night, he's done that a lot of late.
Just a tough take right there by Jordan Poole. Really embraced the physicality of the game there. Just grinding his man out right to the rim. Nice finish.
Palmer with the step through, the floater a little strong, trying to stay with it. Robinson with a rebound. Michigan does not have numbers. Robinson will put the brakes on.
Again, if you're Michigan, run your stuff. Get a good shot here. Crowd's starting to get a little uneasy. Oh, Wagner, you got a point guard guarding you.
Matthews lost the dribble. 4 to shoot. Poole. The 3 won't go. Abdur-Rahman swooping in for the offensive board, and he'll go to the line. That is a hustle play by a senior in a time when his team needed a play made.
Just the types of plays that Michigan fans have become accustomed to seeing from Muhammad Ali, Abdur-Rahman. You see him, no block out, but just a great effort getting to that rim and making a play on the basketball.
And the 3rd foul on Isaiah Roby. Could be a problem as Abdur-Rahman has missed 2 free throws tonight. That might underline some of the problems Michigan's having. Abdur-Rahman's 92% at the line this year. He's missed 2 tonight. He had missed 3 all season.
It's just been one of those nights, and Michigan has not shot the basketball well at all. 57% from the line for the game.
Watson back on the floor. He'll navigate up. Under 9 minutes to go. Watson with fresh legs trying to drive on Abdur-Rahman. Nothing there. There's Roby. Back to Watson. Got an open look for 3. Long rebound, punched in the air, swatted out by Wagner. Ahead it goes to Poole for the 2-hand stuff. Offensive rebounding, keeping Michigan in it, but defensive rebounding there gets them going for a transition 2.
Again, the lead is just cut to 12. 8:30 to play, plenty of time in this game. That's now back-to-back plays we've seen made by a Michigan player where they've kept plays alive on the in terms of rebounding the basketball.
There's Wagner with his 3rd foul. And now a little conversation.
Great effort by both teams, but Wagner aware of his men down floor and able to get that basketball to Jordan Poole. Michigan hanging around.
Huskers will shoot free throws the rest of the way in this one. That's the 7th team foul. 1-1 for Palmer, which tonight has not been an easy proposition. 2 for 5 at the line tonight. Big front end there for Palmer, who's at the double figures with 10. 4th Husker into doubles for Tim Miles. Palmer calmly hits a pair. And now the crowd back into it again. There's Robinson against Roby, playing with 3 fouls. Wagner the 3, barely draws iron. And Mo Wagner tonight, 1 for 5, Robbie, just 2 points.
Really going to be difficult for this Michigan team to have success when he is not scoring the basketball. Such a big part of their team on the offensive end.
No big in the country has more 3s than Wagner. 28 of them. As Palmer a fadeaway 3 rolls home. Palmer's scored 5 straight. Huskers up 17 again. Timeout, Michigan.
Right now, everything going right.
Mildly fired up. This was at the timeout.
Yeah, they've been so close so many times this year against ranked teams, and finally at least thus far, really getting it done against this Michigan team.
Poole trying to get something going inside. A little spark for the freshman Jordan Poole. He'll go to the free throw line. The 4th foul on Isaiah Roby, and a timeout in Lincoln with the Huskers up big.
Night, especially on the road. You go on the road in conference play, and you've really got to bring it. Michigan has found that out the hard way tonight. You come into a building, sold-out crowd, big-time environment. Michigan's had a tough stretch here, a lot of games in a short amount of time. But still, they just haven't had the energy to come out and match Nebraska thus far.
We're seeing the Achilles heel of this Michigan team, at least at this point this season. Free throw shooting. Poole 1 for 2 on that trip. They're at 60% tonight, 66% on the year. And this is a team that just a year ago set a Michigan record at 78% at the line. That's been one of the things that's perplexed Michigan coaches is this team's a good shooting team. They just can't seem to get it going at the free throw line yet. Been better of late.
It's always amazing to me when you have guys that are good three-point shooters but are poor from the free throw line. I think if you can make it 21 feet, you'd be fine for 15. Not always the case.
1-on-1 chance as Poole picks up the third in the teaching moment. For the freshman who will head back on the floor, Glenn Watson going to the line for the 1-on-1. First attempts tonight for the 73% shooter. Now when the action ends, the big show takes over. Highlights from around the conference, expert analysis, plus post-game reaction straight from the arena. The big show's coming up next on BTN. Huskers have tied their largest lead as Watson hits them both. 58-40, Nebraska with 6:50 to go.
Glenn Watson maybe not having his best scoring night, but I feel like he's been really in control of this Nebraska offense, doing a good job of running the show.
Rockmont, good work on the perimeter. Matthews gets the offensive rebound and the putback. Another offensive board. Mentioned it earlier. That's 11 offensive rebounds and 14 second chance points for Michigan.
And he's done such a good job of keeping plays alive, generating second chance offense for this Michigan team.
How aggressive does Michigan have to get at this point in the game down this much?
You know, you probably got to start pressuring the basketball, but you're worried about things like that. You got James Palmer, Glenn Watson, guys that can really drive the ball, get in that paint. They start turning over this Nebraska team.
Second foul on Robinson, 9th team foul on Michigan. Well, that's the difference with this Nebraska team as opposed to maybe the last couple of years is the Huskers have guys who can drive it to the hole in those kinds of situations. Palmer can create his own shot. Copeland can get inside as well.
A lot of options for this Nebraska team. And with Isaiah Roby's emergence, man.
Copeland back on the floor. Also, Isaiah Livers returning. Roby on the bench with 4 fouls.
And I also think, you know, before it was always, you got to have Watson, Copeland, Palmer playing well for Nebraska to beat good teams. But with Roby's emergence, you got Anton Gill, who's also been able to provide some shooting.
How about Evan Taylor?
The last 2 games has been great. So all of a sudden, you're not so dependent on just 3 guys. You can kind of spread the workload out. Tonight, really a good performance all around.
And the second straight night in which Nebraska's almost gone exclusively with that small line. Poole gets cleared, the long three rebounded by Copeland. That's a lot of matchup stuff, but Nebraska's been really good in that small lineup, especially tonight.
As long as they can rebound the basketball and not get killed by a good big underneath. Maybe Purdue would give them problems. A team like Maryland, who's got Fernando Tchaikovsky. Everybody else pretty much plays a smaller brand of basketball.
Huskers getting a standing ovation from this crowd. Nebraska's best performance of the season, top to bottom tonight, has them up 19. Abdul Rahman got a long look for 3. Rebound Evan Taylor. And with 5:18 to go, the Huskers leading the 23rd ranked Wolverines by 19. And with a win, Nebraska would be tied in the Big Ten standings with Michigan. Just 2.5 games out of first place.
Just been one of those nights. A really good look for Rahman there.
Taylor on the drive with a left hand, and Wagner the rebound and a foul underneath against Michigan. It'll go on Isaiah Livers, his second, 10th team foul on Michigan, and Nebraska's going to shoot 2 free throws for the final 4:57. Palmer has Stars tend to do. Robbie has stepped it up in the second half. 10 second half points, 17 on the night.
For Nebraska to be successful for the rest of the season, he really needs to give consistent minutes. And we saw it against Wisconsin. There was times where Tim Miles ripped him out of the game for taking bad shots and turning the basketball over. At Penn State gets benched. Look at how he's responded, though. Really come back. Hits the game winner against Illinois. Has a big night. 24 points there and has come back tonight and been really effective.
John Beeline going with a line change. Wagner out. Abdul Rahman out. There's a lot of Michigan players on the floor right now. Some substitution confusion. Eli Brooks came in. Ibby Watson on the floor. John Teskey out there. There's about 6 or 7 Michigan players kind of milling about. Hits the free throw. Now Jerron Simmons can check in. Out goes Charles Matthews. And real frustration for Michigan right now as the starters sit down.
Perhaps John Beeline sending a message here.
It'll be Simmons, the transfer from Ohio, who will bring it up. Livers, the only starter out there on the floor right now. Watson, 10 to shoot. Maybe Watson inside, muscles it to the rim. No, Teskey's tip won't go. Stayed with it and gets the follow to drop. Last time Nebraska beat Michigan was 1964. Fred Hare put in a follow at the buzzer to give Nebraska a 74-73 win over then top-ranked Michigan. That was at the NU Coliseum. Cassie Russell's top-ranked Michigan squad. 6. Ball knocked away. Copeland from the elbow. No. Rebound by Watson. The bounce down on the baseline. Livers will kick it back out. Watson on the drive. Hung in the air and got the bounce.
I thought Livers could have shot the basketball, but I thought Watson did a good job getting in that paint. Michigan trying to show some signs of life here, but is it too little too late?
Watson inside. That's a foul. Timeout on the floor. Isaiah Roby ready to check back in. When he picked up his 4th, Nebraska was up 17. He's coming back in, still up 17. Isaiah Roby, tonight's Playing with Confidence, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans.
Well, I'm not sure Isaiah Roby knows how good he can be. A lot of ability, got great size, can shoot the basketball. He's done a really good job attacking Mo Wagner tonight. Kind of got him out of rhythm a little bit, drove him. And another solid performance. He gets better every night you see him.
One more free throw for Watson. Tim Miles was 19 months old when Nebraska last beat Michigan. Was not in attendance when Fred Hare flipped in the backward shot over his head to beat Cassie Russell and the Wolverines 74-73. Simmons driving against Roby, playing with those 4 fouls, and Simmons gets the roll. Simmons was a prolific scorer at Ohio. He's the first grad transfer to Michigan since Beeline took the program over. Simmons averaged 17 points per game last year, first team All-MAC selection. He's had a hard time getting going here. Just his 20th point a moment ago of the season.
It just goes to show you the difference in level. You're playing some of those smaller conferences. You come to the Big Ten. It's a different deal here.
Now Isaiah Roby going to the free throw line for a pair of free throws. He's got 11, as we showed you a moment ago. His career high 12. He had that just 2 games ago in the overtime loss at Penn State. Trying to tie his career high here. Had 9 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals in the win over Illinois on Monday.
He can do a lot of different things on both ends of the floor. Love him because he can switch ball screens and guard guards. So he can shoot the basketball from three, can drive it. Really a complete player.
He frustrated Wagner tonight. 2 points for Mo Wagner, 1 for 5 shooting. Michigan's made their last 4 shots with this lineup off the bench, and now some pressure at timeout. Going to have to be utilized by Copeland. The defense on the inbound from Michigan, forcing the timeout with the Huskers up by 16. Saturday on BTN, we've got a hoops doubleheader as Ohio State takes on Minnesota from Madison Square Garden. Then Northwestern hosts Penn State. Coverage begins Saturday noon Eastern on BTN, streaming on BTN to go and Fox Sports Go. I'll be at Madison Square Garden on Saturday for that tip-off of the doubleheader and get the chance to see the guy who I think right now is the best player in the conference, Keita Bates-Diop. 19, almost 20 points a game, almost 9 rebounds a game, going against Jordan Murphy. Still averaging that double-double. Only 18 double-doubles this year for Jordan Murphy.
You know, when you see a guy do that, it becomes the norm. That's not normal. Getting 10 rebounds in a college basketball game is very difficult. Yeah, do that 18 times in the season. Goodness.
How about 19? Just confirmed another one tonight in a losing effort at Maryland for Minnesota. He's a special player.
Great motor.
Huskers trying to run the engine out on this one with a 66-50 lead. 2:25 remaining and the shot clock at 8. Roby will go to work, puts it on the deck. The dish into the corner, the 3 up, no good. There's an offensive rebound for Taylor, the layup. No, but there's Roby with a follow and a career high 14 for Isaiah Roby.
That pretty much sums up Nebraska's night right there. Good offense again. Roby making a really mature pass and staying at it on the boards.
Livers, the reverse won't go. Good work on the offensive glass again. Feel like we've been saying that all night for Michigan. Teske back out to Livers, the 3. This time Gill able to corral the rebound for the Huskers, who are closing in on one of their biggest wins in the Tim Miles era. Glenn Watson, he'll back it out. Nebraska by 18. Mo Wagner had 34 points in 2 games against Nebraska last year. Just 2 tonight on 1 for 5 shooting as Teske with the rejection goes right back to Copeland, and a foul will send Copeland to the line. Huskers working hard even with the big lead, Robbie.
And their effort has been so great all night. See Evan Taylor keeping it alive, unable to finish, but Isaiah Roby comes over the top of everybody and cleans up the mess.
And now Nebraska clearing their bench. The Huskers getting to have a little victory celebration. Malcolm Laws is going to check in. Huskers going all the way down the bench. Anna Kenton into the game. Gorir Thorbjarnarsson in the game as well. Johnny Trueblood out there for the Huskers also for the final 1:15. Simmons will back this one out. There's Ibby Watson from the foul line, gets it to fall, and a timeout taken by John Beeline. You hear the reaction.
You can say this may be a teaching moment for John Beeline. He's going to send a message.
You know, Isaac Copeland didn't have a great game against Illinois, only 2 points, Robbie, but he's had a nice bounce back tonight.
Well, a bounce back performance, and this really got him going. Great feed from Roby, gets the dunk. We saw him all night take advantage of Isaiah Livers. Took the freshman in the post and drove him to the basket. Really just an in-control performance. Took his time, took shots within the offense, and really made plays for this Nebraska team.
Got double-figure performances from Gill, Copeland, Roby, and Palmer tonight. Glenn Watson with 8 points as his night comes to a close. True Blood will inbound for Nebraska. Gonna have to hurry. Kenton comes back to get it. And a Kenton, and a foul is called on Jerron Simmons. And a Kenton to the free throw line. His first attempts at the line as a Husker for the freshman out of Bolingbrook, Illinois. One more for a Kenton. Tim Miles got to be awfully proud of the performance his team has put on tonight. From start to finish, Nebraska really has been in control all night long.
And a really complete performance. I'm really impressed with the way they defended, shut down Mo Wagner, and really never let Michigan's guards get into any sort of rhythm.
Teske couldn't get that one to go. The ball plucked away. Well, Bjarnason with the defense and then pulls it out of there. Laws on the drive, and Malcolm Laws with his first points of the year. .20-point advantage for Nebraska. Watson's three won't go. Rebound Huskers. Or Bjarnason will bring it up. And the Huskers about to hand Michigan its most lopsided loss of the season. North Carolina beat them by 15 in November. Nebraska's going to beat Michigan by 20 points in Lincoln. And the Huskers may have just announced themselves as a team to pay attention to in the Big Ten Conference. The final tonight, Nebraska 72, Michigan 52. First win against Michigan in 53 years, 1 month, and 6 days. And Nebraska's largest win over a ranked team since they beat 25th ranked Texas Tech 72-44 in 2004. Isaiah Roby, a big part of this big win for Nebraska with 14 points. And Nebraska knocks off Michigan by 20, 72-52. And the updated standings, Nebraska right in the mix in the top half of the Big Ten, tied with Michigan at 5-3. Michigan State and Indiana up there at 4-2. And Purdue and Ohio State 7-0, leading the pack in the conference. And the Huskers led for 35 minutes plus tonight in getting Tim Miles' first double-digit win over a ranked team as head coach at Nebraska. 72-52. Huskers win it by 20 over Michigan. From start to finish tonight, it was Nebraska's night in Lincoln. And the Huskers have won 14 and now 5-3 in Big Ten play. Big night tonight for Tim Miles and the Huskers, and Robbie is standing by with the head coach, Tim Miles.
Coach, really a complete performance for you guys tonight. What do you think about your team's effort?
Well, you know, hey, this was fun, right? I thought we defended really, really well until we started watching the clock, you know. But Michigan's hard to guard, and I thought our guys were really locked in. They had a great practice yesterday. You could see their mentality was good today. And we hadn't got these guys yet, so it was really an important win. And it's a good win for us. And we now, you know how it goes late in the year. You either can't afford to lose or you have to win.
2 weeks ago was Ethan Happ. You guys did a great job on him tonight. Mo Wagner. What was really the key to shutting him down?
Well, he's really good. I thought Isaiah Roby did a nice job. Isaac Copeland, we switched. And then, you know, we kind of tried to save those little guys under there some too. And I thought our guys understood what the idea was, right? Take away threes, take away attempts. And if we get mismatched, help your buddy out, right? Spy him and see if you can kick him out of there. And they did a great job.
Evan Taylor taken out of the starting lineup really has played well for you guys the last 2 games. What does that say about your seniors' really, I guess, response to that?
Yeah, I always told them I thought we had about 7 guys that deserved to start, but big deal. I mean, just play, right? The longer we can have our best teams out there, and Evan has responded terrifically. he's really a key for us. And tonight, his mentality was just so good. You know, you could see his confidence, you could see his aggression, and I got chills tonight when that crowd was going good. That was pretty cool.
Coach, congratulations. Kevin, back to you.
Robbie, thanks so much. Nebraska wins it 72-52, and the Huskers now 5-3 with Michigan in the Big Ten Conference. Coming up on BTN, the big show straight ahead here on BTN. For Robbie Hummel and our entire crew, I'm Kevin Kugler repeating the final score from Lincoln. Nebraska with the upset knocks off 23rd ranked Michigan 72-52. This has been an exclusive presentation of BTN. The big show is next. So long.